Hello. In this video, we'll explore how to perform inference using an existing off-the-shelf model in PyTorch. This will serve as an introduction to getting started with pre-trained models. You might wonder how we can leverage these models for tasks like transfer learning. We'll get to that later, but first, let's see how to quickly and easily experiment with different models. We'll start by importing PyTorch and some functions from Torch Vision. We'll use a lightweight GPU runtime in our Colab environment, though everything will run fine even if you decide to use a CPU-based runtime. The model we're going to use can be imported from the Torch Vision Models library. It's an image recognition model called VGG16, which was pre-trained on the ImageNet dataset, a widely used machine version dataset with labeled images. We'll import both the model and the weight and create variables from those. Since we're running on a GPU, let's push our model to the GPU as well to enhance performance. Looking at the architecture of our model, we see several convolutional layers, each followed by a ReLU, or rectified linear unit, activation function, a common pattern in machine vision models. We also have occasional max pooling layers and, near the end, dropout layers and fully connected layers that map to our output features. Our images need to match the input dimensions and format that the model expects. So let's create a normalization transformation to pre-process our images accordingly. The model requires images that are 224 pixels by 224 pixels in size. Now that our PyTorch model is loaded, let's load some images to test it out. We'll grab images from a source like Wikipedia or Wikimedia Commons. Let's head over to Wikimedia Commons where we can grab any image we like. This grasshopper, for example, looked interesting. Keep in mind that if we download high-resolution images, we'll need to scale them down to fit the model's input size of 224 pixels by 224 pixels. To save time, let's download a medium-sized image instead. Let's rename the image file to something simple like grasshopper and load it into our notebook. We'll first check that the image looks good by displaying it. Here's our image. It's currently 720 by 1080 pixels with 3 color channels, which is higher resolution than what our model expects. Let's pre-process it using our transformation, and since we're on a GPU, we'll perform the processing there. After pre-processing, we can check the shape of our image. It should now be one batch by 3 channels by 224 by 224 pixels. By using the squeeze function, we've added a batch dimension. Let's plot the pre-processed image. Here's our pre-processed image. The colors look a bit strange, don't they? That's because of the normalization transformation we applied. Even so, we can still recognize the original image. Now, when we perform classification, the model will output probabilities for about 1,000 different categories. But raw class indices aren't very meaningful to us. How do we interpret these results? We'll need to map these indices to human-readable labels like English names of objects. So let's download a mapping file called ImageNet classes to do just that and bring it into our notebook. We'll define a function to map class indices to labels by loading this file. This way, we can easily interpret the model's predictions. Now, all that's left is to perform inference. We'll pass our image through the model. To make sense of the output, we'll get the top predictions using the topk function, specifying that we want the top 3 results. Let's see what the model thinks our image is. We'll convert these indices to classes and then look at those classes. Our model predicts that our image is a cricket, a long-horned beetle, or an ant. We have a very specific type of image, a grasshopper, but it is very close to these 3 insects. So we've got a pretty good model that we're using here. If you'd like to support the channel, consider starting a free trial of our new design tool, which is linked in the description, and let us know what you think. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section and we'll do our best to respond. Thank you very much for watching to the end, and please enjoy responsibly.